transparency and not only find out more about the copy machines, find out who's got that contract, although it may be public, but I've not been able to find it out. But also the Public Works Department, that definitely needs some audit, and I appreciate, we need some transparency, and of that, there's very little of that. So, thank you again. Mahalo.
Thank you. Pahoa, would you like to have your first testifier, please? Kimmy, are you ready for your first testifier?
Sorry, yes, we have Ms. Tiffany Edwards Hunt representing your people. She'll be speaking about Resolution 181 and also Bills 119 and 120.
Okay, thank you.
Aloha, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, aloha.
Hi, Karen. Anyway, this is a week before Thanksgiving, so I just want to give all my thanks. First of all, congratulations to Bob Fitzgerald and his crew, and also thank you so much to Bonga Perkins and Craig Iniguez for their heroism. Anyway, I want to thank the County Council for, number one, the opportunity to testify from Pahoa. I'm trying to pack as much into my life as possible, so it's nice to not have to commute for civic engagement. Thanks also to the County Council for the amendments to Bills 119 and 120, ensuring we get our infrastructure improvements out here in Pahoa ahead of our growth and development. I'd like us to keep riding the wave and ensure we stay diligent, putting forth capital improvement projects consistent with the Puna Community Development Plan, Circulation Plan. It's very important. Being Pahoa-centric, I believe that this is one of the most important things a Puna rep can do, and it will look great on the re-election campaign brochure. Number three, thank you so much to the council for your negative recommendation on the proposed legislative package. In particular, number one related to the Sunshine Law. I just want to point out that in 1968, founding president of Big Island Press Club, Bill Arbalio, and Hugh Clark and Walt Southward went before the Charter Commission seeking a sunshine law similar to California's. They were thrown out of the room, but then the Charter Commission rethought what they were doing and went before Big Island Press Club, and they all worked together to craft the legislation that you have before you today. Those men they're elderly now, and they can't come before you, so it's a generation like me, who's part of the press club, that is coming here to tell you that we need open government. The Sunshine Law ensures openness in government, and when the act was signed by Ariyoshi, it assured that the county is number one. It's more open than the state. And to try to create an exception to that it defiles the concept of openness. Also, we as the public deserve notice on special meetings. We deserve to have open meetings. We want good, honest agendas. We want properly noticed agendas. The whole concept has never wavered in 45 years, and you don't want to be the county council that messes with the Sunshine Law. So thank you so much. Please understand, when you're in public office, you need to conduct your business in public. If you want to be friends with each other, there will be a time when you're not reelected and you can have barbecues, you can all go to meetings and be civically involved. Just understand all your business needs to be in the light because you're actually doing the public's business. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Here in Kona, Mr. Dave Carlson and John Grogan, can you please come forward? Mr. Carlson, and state your name for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes to testify. Our clerk will sound a bell to let you know that you have 30 seconds to summarize, and then the buzzer after that means to please finish your testimony. Okay?
Thank you, Karen. I'm David Carlson from Kalokamauka. I'm the commander of the Department of Hawaii American Legion. I'm talking to you today as president of the West Hawaii Veterans Cemetery Association, made up of all the veterans organizations of West Hawaii and many civilians who are helping us maintain and beautify the West Hawaii Veterans Cemetery. I'm also the president of the Mayor's Advisory Council on Veterans Affairs, which approved at our last meeting this name for our road. Quick summary of the road. It's been in for many years and without a name. And we sent all of the veterans organizations back to discuss a name for the road. Many of the organizations came back with individual names that they wanted for the road. Became kind of an argument about that, so we decided in a group to name the road with a Hawaiian name. The original thought was to go with the full name of Keala Nui Onakoa, which would have been Hawaiian Road of Warriors. However, we note what happens here in Hawaii when you get a long name, no one can pronounce it, and you end up with something like everybody calls the main highway Queen K instead of using the regular name, and the new highway is Ani Highway instead of using its name. So Alakoa was one thought, Kealakoa another one. The word the in Hawaii is very important, so we decided on using the Kealakoa rather than just Alakoa, although in Honolulu they use the name Halikoa for the veterans hotel there, but Ke, Ka, and Na are very important in Hawaiian language. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is John Grogan, and I am the post commander of Kona Post 12122 of the Veterans of Foreign Wars, or also known as the VFW. And candidly, David has said everything I was going to say, so I'll just say ditto to what Dave said, and add, as the past president for 6 terms of the West Hawaii Veterans Cemetery, our appreciation for the Hawaii County Council's support of veterans issues in West Hawaii. And looking around the council, I know of some, and I know others of you have worked behind the scenes, and I'm sorry I can't recognize that effort, but I see Brenda Ford over there, who has been a strong supporter of the West Hawaii Veterans Cemetery in the past. Our new person at the point is Karen Eoff, and on behalf of the Veterans of Foreign Wars, and I know I speak for Dave on this as well, thank you so much for all you do. You demonstrate a boots-on-the-ground approach to making sure that veterans issues are given fair consideration. So we thank you very much, and thanks for allowing me to testify this morning.
Thank you very much. Our next 2 speakers are Taylor Kwanan and Uriah Camacho. Please come forward. Just speak right into the microphone. Thank you.
Thank you for allowing me the time to share my perspective and thoughts on this matter. My name is Taylor Kwanan, and I'm a senior at Kealakekei High School. It is well established that tobacco use is deteriorating to one's health. There are multiple known reasons why adolescents engage in smoking. In teenagers, the brain is not fully developed, increasing the chances of risk-taking induced by addictive substances that hamper brain development, impairing judgment and increasing the risk of developing a lifelong addiction. Living in Hawaii, it is too often the youth become a product of their environment. Influences from family and friends are the main contributor to addiction developing at a young age. I believe increasing the legal smoking age to 21. The County of Hawaii can reduce the amount of underage smokers and take leadership in a positive direction. In a social setting, it is more likely for a 14, 15, or 16-year-old to have relations with an 18-year-old. As long as the legal age for purchasing tobacco remains at 18, it is easier for minors to obtain tobacco products, continually contributing to the high rates of teenagers hooked on alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs. We are faced with the issue of increasing the legal smoking age to 21. This is a complicated issue and one that deals with health and civil liberties. While it may seem like the only ones in favor of this resolution are non-smoking adults, I can assure you this is not the case. I am faced with an addiction. I am an underage smoker. I started to smoke cigarettes at the age of 14. A variety of reasons contributed to my tobacco use. My mother is an avid smoker, and before I knew it, I became one myself. At one point in my life, I falsely believed cigarettes established maturity and social acceptance. At other times, it became a coping mechanism. I appreciate the testimonies given by many other students, and I know many of them view this from an observer's perspective. For me, this issue is quite personal. Today, I am ashamed of this addiction I've accumulated over the years. I wonder if the ease of access to tobacco was different, and if the dialogue that is happening now happened 5 years ago, would I be a smoker at all? My name is Taylor, I am 16, I am a smoker, and I am in full support of this bill.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. I'm Yara Camacho. I am a freshman at Calcay High School. I have a story to share in support of this bill. My mom started smoking at 15 years old, and this started pulling me away from family time and just being with my mom. She is addicted to smoking, and she is having a hard time to quit smoking. I started smoking about 2 years ago. I was embarrassed of this and I stopped, but I always was addicted and I just stopped because I wasn't used to and I wanted to improve my life and move forward. And besides that, it is very hard to talk about this and stuff. Besides all of that, you have to be 18 to vote, and you can join the military at the age of 18. I believe that this is right, and that the smoking age of 21 is fully correct, because when you vote or you join the military, you are supporting and helping your country and doing things right. If you're 21, you wouldn't, I would rather be young and do something good for my country instead of being older and doing it later. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, please come forward is is Taylor Sutton and Jarek Sabonting. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning, I am Callan Sutton. Everybody messes up the name, yeah. I am a freshman at Calcay High School, and I support this bill, more or less. Well, totally. Yeah. So, okay, so everybody pretty much knows the basic health problems that come from smoking. Emphysema, it's been connected with cancer, a couple of other things. Huge impacts. And through this whole thing, I've also heard a lot of people saying, oh, you're 18, you can vote, you can go and join the army. Yeah, great for them. But in those cases, at least in the army, you're playing to risk your own life. While with smoking, you're risking your own life. You're also risking the lives of pretty much everyone around you. Secondhand smoke can be just as bad as smoking yourself. We also know this just from numerous scientific studies and everything else that they've been teaching on cigarettes and other drugs. I also have a good bit of family who has smoked and are having certain problems with this, mostly emphysema, but still, same problem. To end, I support this bill. Thanks for listening,
Thank you very
even
much.
though it's mostly rambling.
Hello, my name is Jarrett Kabanting. I'm a junior at Calicut High School. I'm here in support of Bill 135. I just wanted to address a few points regarding legal smoking age. New York has already raised the age to purchase tobacco to 21. A quote from Mayo Bloomberg, "This century, 1 billion people will die from smoking across the world." England has observed a decline in teenage smokers after raising the tobacco age to 21. I just wanted to emphasize the importance of preventing smokers from ever starting. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we'll have Emily Gambing and Majdi Mariano. The light on?
Oh. Good morning. My name is Emily Gambing. I'm a freshman at Calicut High School. I want to re-emphasize my speech from the introduction of the bill. I support this motion to raise the age 18 to 21 for tobacco purchases because it is a good way to prevent teen smoking. I have a 10-year-old cousin. She's athletic, smart, and beautiful. One day she was talking to me and bursted out in tears. She explained me something. Author, like older sister in Filipino. Please don't hate me. I'm really dumb. Every day after school, I would accept a cigarette and take a lit from it. I was peer pressured by a boy a few months ago. I tried to stop, but I found myself asking for more. She felt disappointed and mad at herself, but she did not know how to stop. I'm emotionally hurt that a beautiful little girl got addicted at a young age. I think it is a mistake to even bring cigarettes in the world, but every little thing can make a difference, and starting with the raise of buying cigarettes is a great start. We are the youth, voices of our future. It would be right to take consideration of our voices, because it's not only going to affect present now, but our lives and our future. I really appreciate it for taking your time to listen to me speak. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Majdi Mariano. I'm also a freshman at Calicut High School. I have dealt with other people and friends offering me cigarettes, some of them only 15 years old. I think the age should be raised because there are a lot of 18-year-olds in high school who could supply cigarettes for freshmen and students also in middle school. Raising the age limits would make it a little more difficult for underage smokers to get cigarettes. I look forward to hearing what the council has to say about this topic. Thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you. Next, Shaden Freitas and Alcoa Santos.
Good morning. I'm Shaden Freitas, a freshman at Calicut High School. I'm here to support the Bill 135 to raise the law of purchasing tobacco because in my family, both of my parents smoked when they were young. And my mom has had emphysema, and so she can't do things with me as much as she could before. and it's like a bummer, so we can't like play ball or do stuff. And then my father, he doesn't have anything, but like he coughs bad and stuff, and it's sad to see him like that. And like, if I look at them like that, what is it like if little kids were to look at their parents like that, and it keeps going, and all the generations to come, they all have little kids looking at their parents like that, and they don't have parents to play with them or help them and stuff. And I just want kids to have good parents like that, that don't smoke and have serious issues like that. I am for the bill 1 through 5. Thank you.
My name is Glauco Santos, and I'm also a freshman at Calgate High School. I support this bill for increasing the age to 21. Coming from a Hawaiian family, and always was taught to like malamala land, malamala aina, and it kills me inside when I like see like cigarette butts and like kids my age just like throwing cigarette butts on the ground and not caring. So like I would think that increasing the age would have a little difference on polluting the earth and just making our island as nice as possible. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next is John Harrington and Jean Grissom.
Hello. Okay. Good evening, County Council members. My name is John Harrington, but most people call me Jack, and I'm here to support the raise of the age of sales back with 21. But first, I would like to congratulate all the senior baseball teams. They did they're a great team. My grandpa actually plays senior baseball, and he has a really good time. I'd also like to thank the Veterans Cemetery for holding such a great event during the Veterans Day ceremony. That was an awesome event. I'd like to thank them as well. I support the raise of the age to 21 for tobacco sales like the rest of my fellow students, because just like them, it's really easy since people are coming to the age of 18 currently, that they can just provide the younger students with cigarettes and all the tobacco stuff that they're currently allowed to purchase. It's also that the tobacco companies also have their advertising just specifically for us, the younger adults. It's all in the mail everywhere. Everybody can see it. It's associated with all this good stuff. And that's why people, when they're exploring all the new stuff they can get, that's where they see it. They see it next to all the good things, have good linkage in their memories. It's also said that on average, tobacco smokers at a young age, who start at a young age, lose about 25 years. Here in the county of Hawaii, we have one of the longest living rates to like 80 years, around 80 years. And if you lose 25 years, you're only going to live to 55. That is really young, in my opinion. I'd also like to tell you that people who say that it's not our business, it's not our problem, well, it is a problem, because the people that this bill would save may be the future leaders, the future president, the future doctor that's going to be taking care of you guys when you need it, and the future people that we'll call heroes, like the people we've seen today. If we haven't had them, who knows what would happen to that lady. Also, people have said that it will affect our economy because of around average $9.75 pack of cigarettes. Quite a chunk of it is tax money. But with $9.75, you can buy a lot of locally grown products with that. Support our community, and not try to kill it. This thing will kill yourself. You're not supporting your community that way by just smoking cigarettes. I've also heard that it should be a right of the people that are going to war to be able to smoke. That's one of their rights. But since 1973, the draft has not been in effect. Therefore, it's a volunteer thing. It's their right to volunteer for the services, not their duty to do it. They can volunteer as much as they want. They don't have to go if they do not wish. And cigarettes do kill. You're as likely to die here as you are likely to die there. But cigarettes will kill. and that is why I support the raise of age 21.
Thank you very much.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Jean Grissom, and I speak primarily from my personal experience. So I am in support of Bill 135, and I have such gratitude for you for bringing this to front and making it possible. I'd first like to just share a little pain that I've witnessed. My auntie and my stepmother and my mother were of that generation that they didn't have the facts and the data for the cancer and the death rates. And out of just wanting to have fun, they started to have it. So my auntie, I watched her for 10 years go through cancer. And I watched the pain at the end where they could only give her a Q-tip with a drop of water. And I watched her body go stiff from the feet up to the top. And I loved her deeply. And it's so unnecessary for her to, not to mention the pain, they didn't have the medication as well as Cytodam. And then I got a phone call last spring from my stepsister, and she said, you know, it's really spread, it's getting to the end for my mom. And I said, well, can I come in 2 weeks, that's spring break? And she's like, I don't know. And so I went on a 3-day weekend within a week of that phone call, and she died the week after I got back. And again, it was like this beautiful person who just loved to have a great life, and it was clearly cancer from her smoking as her cause. And I'm born in Nashville, Tennessee. I've been back 5 times in the last 12 months because my birth mother is going through her process. She's had her lung collapse twice. She has emphysema. She has lost muscle control. Her heart is weak. Even when they try to put her up in bed, her heart starts racing like it's going to have a heart attack. And it's so unnecessary. So I'm grateful that with the data that we have to change the age of sale, it least sends a message that we're awake. We know that this is not going to bring life and good things. So it's a step in the right direction, and I appreciate it for that reason. There are so many students at Conewanna High School who wanted to be here today, and I just want to let you know that if they had been given the opportunity, they would have been here. I have a bag more of all of these posters. We could pass them out for the whole group here. So many more posters. I have more testimony. You didn't even get it yet. There's a lot more people in support than just this group you see here. That would like to support this bill. And I also want to honor these students. They have risen to the occasion, and to see them in the school and see them come here, it's just a beauty, and I appreciate each one of you.
Thank you. Sally Anchetta and Laura Luzzi.
Good morning, Honorable Chair, County Council members. I'm Sally Anchetta from the Coalition for Tobacco-Free Hawaii. I'm the East Hawaii Coordinator, and we strongly support Bill 135 to raise the legal age of sale of tobacco products to 21. I wanted to just reiterate first and foremost that the voice that's resonating for support for this bill is the voice of the residents that this will affect, and that's the youth. You see them here today. This is the adult stack of a few events we've had. This is the youth stack that we had in a half an hour at Waikia High School of their support of raising the age of sale. They've seen tobacco affect their lives. They see the generation before them and how, just like we've heard, their health is affected by their tobacco use when they started as a teen. But I wanted to end today in final reading with my testimony about tobacco use. See, I was born as a severe asthmatic, and when I've testified in front of this county council before, I have been the asthma educator for American Lung Association. We breathe through straws because we need to reiterate what it felt like to have an asthma attack. But to be a child raising in the generation that smoking was indoors, smoking was not talked about. It was devastating as a child to live in the hospitals and be having to remember living under an oxygen tent in order to breathe. But what was even harder was when I decided to become a smoker myself. I wasn't very good at breathing, and I wasn't very good at smoking, but my peers were smokers, and I wanted to belong to the group of my friends. By the time I was 15 years old, I was addicted to cigarettes. So even if you're not good at smoking, this nicotine has this way of taking over your life. And I, as a young adult, ended up in the hospital because I lived with a smoker. And between my smoking and his smoking, which mine was very casual, I nearly died from an asthma attack. So we know the grip that it has on youth. We know the grip that it has on your health. And we ask you today to be like the young man that Drew recognized and go on the ocean and rescue the youth of our county and bring them back to the beach that are using tobacco and help them not become lifelong users. Thank you.
Aloha, I'm Laura Galuzzi. I'm a gerontologist. I'm here to support all the youth here that are for raising the age for smoking and purchasing smoking products to 21. I myself started smoking at 13, and I smoked for 10 years, a pack to a pack and a half a day, modeling both my parents smoking and my grandpa and his brother smoking. The two of them died with emphysema and emphysema-related issues. My own mother, when we used to beg her, all 7 children, to stop smoking, we all remember her with a baby on a hip and a cigarette in her mouth. So many of us ended up with asthma and different allergies related to smoking. But when we used to beg her to stop smoking, she'd joke, "Don't worry, when I stroke out, I'll blink once for yes and twice for no." Well, I saved her life in a convalescent hospital when she had to blink once for yes because they forgot to put the pain medication on her after she had a massive stroke and became a quadriplegic. So anything that you can do to get us out of the mode of West Hawaii and the Big Island and the state of Hawaii condoning smoking is a plus. And it shows how intelligent we are as a community to do something to alleviate all the medical costs for the seniors that have smoked all their lives and to get these youth so they don't smoke, and the burden on society for medical costs related to smoking is huge. So I'm sure other people have come before me and testified, but I just want all of you to be so smart when you vote to up the age to 21. I thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else here in Kona that would like to testify at this time? No? And are there, the outer sites, do you have anybody that would like to testify before we close this portion of our hearing? Okay then. If there's no objections, I'd like to take Bill 135 first.
Madam Clerk, thank you. Bill 135 amends Chapter 14 of the Hawaii County Code 1983, 2005 edition as amended by adding a new article relating to the distribution of tobacco products. Makes it unlawful for any person to distribute a tobacco product to any person under 21 years of age to take effect on July 1st, 2014. Those persons at least 18 years old on or before July 1st, 2014 would be exempt from this law. Introduced by Mr. Kanuha, first reading November 6, 2013.
Mr. Kanuha.
I move to approve Bill 135.
It's been moved by Mr. Kanuha, second by Mr. Kern, to approve Bill 135 at second and final reading. Mr. Kanuha.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is a historic day. We're showing the world that we care about our community and we care about our youth. Not all the time we bring up bills that do a lot of this type of stuff, but this is a feel-good one. This is something that we can show ourselves, our county, our state, the nation, that we care about our youth. So I applaud all of you guys for being here, coming out of school, supporting this bill. It's you guys that we're here for, you know. You guys are the ones we care about a lot. So thank you guys so much for being here, supporting this, supporting your classmates, supporting everybody in this community. So I really applaud you guys. Mahalo to Sally and Chena from the coalition and the whole coalition for Tobacco-Free Hawaii for your organization, everything that you guys have been doing in this community. Good job. Mahalo also, I wanted to say to Brenda Larson. She's the one that first got me involved in this a long time ago. It took a long time and a lot of effort to get to where we are today. Also want to thank John Hendricks over there for our legislative assistance, and also Lincoln Ashita Corporation Council. Mahalo for being there and being present in this bill and all your hard work as well. I just wanted to reiterate that the intent of this legislation is not to outlaw the possession of cigarettes, but simply make retailers responsible for its sale. It is not intended to criminalize young people if they're caught smoking, but rather it attempts to reduce or at least delay the introduction of tobacco to them. It is not meant to infringe on anyone's rights or freedoms, but is meant to protect our youth from the harmful effects and health risks associated with smoking. We saw a couple weeks ago that New York City, one of the biggest cities in this nation, passed this similar legislation to up the age to 21 years old, to 21 years, the possession or the distribution of tobacco. We are maybe the 4th or 5th or 6th county in this nation to do the same exact thing, and hopefully it's to show that we can. It's a stepping stone that we do. We are going through this. We do care about our people. So hopefully the rest of the nation can follow suit. Maybe the state can follow suit and see that we are following through with this legislation. But again, I just wanted to mahalo everybody for coming. My commitment obviously is to help our young people live longer, healthier lives. I urge my fellow council members to support this bill as you have done in the past several hearings of this bill. Basically, let us help prevent or at least delay our young people from taking up a habit that remains the leading cause of preventable death nationwide. Please pass this bill, and mahalo for all your support. Thank you.
Ms. Willie?
Yes, I want to support this, and I want to encourage you all that this is not sort of the end point in this effort. Laws only go so far. It's also about educating and talking to others. And I think the key thing here with me is that smoking isn't just what it does to the person who takes it up, it's how it impacts everyone else. I know every time I started smoking, and I did a number of times, it was always because either my roommates or the others, my secretary or others working with me were all smoking, and suddenly I just realized I was addicted and had never purchased a cigarette. And to look at what we're doing is really as an island, that you all have a kuleana. How do we take care of this island and for the kids and future generations, and really see this in terms of the big picture. So I hope you all don't see this as, okay, check, we finished that, but that how do we all share smoking, other efforts, and really improve our health and the health of our island. So thank you very much for coming.
Thank you. Mr. Kern.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yeah, I'm going to be really brief. I absolutely support this bill. I thank Mr. Kanema for bringing this forward and everybody that worked on this along the way. And I just, it's great to see the youth coming out here and do this, and the teachers and everybody that's just involved with it, bringing this process together and getting education at the same time, and also helping to educate us at the same time. So I absolutely support this bill, and thank you all for coming out very much. Mahalo.
Ms. Ford?
Thank you. Ms. Enchana, could you come forward, please? I'd like to ask a question. Thank you. Make sure the bright green light is on. Okay. Would you please identify yourself again into the microphone?
Yes, I am Sally Antetta, the East Hawaii Coordinator for the Coalition for Tobacco-Free Hawaii.
Thank you. One of the things in this bill, which I generically support the bill, One of the things I've been concerned about, and I've expressed this a couple of times, is this 3-year period of time where people who are already 18 and smoking can still continue to buy cigarettes up to 21. And I wanted to hear what you think about that graduated, that phased approach versus let's just stop it right now. Cold turkey, stop it.
It's funny that you asked that because tomorrow is the Great American Smokeout, and it's all about going cold turkey and being able to quit smoking. And we know that that is not the best solution in trying to quit an addiction like nicotine, and it's the least successful. And I believe that we look at it the same way, that when someone is already addicted to a product like nicotine, and they've been legally able to purchase it, that we don't want to penalize them and punish them and just cut them off and say, you know, it just jumped overnight. I think it would be challenging for that small group of the population to be able to just go cold turkey and not be able to use this product. We also felt that the gradual phase would be beneficial for the retailers. This is a small population of users, but we thought that it would ease them off of this demographic group of users of a product that would come to the retail establishment. But mostly we didn't want to punish the person who was using this product legally prior to this date. And we know that the evidence is that the 17-year-olds, the ones that are most impacted when this goes into effect, they're at the point that they're starting to be daily users, but they're still at the end stages of experimenting. And our hope is that that will end, and it'll be such a stretch for them to have access. I hope that answers that question.
It actually does, and I appreciate it because I have been supporting the cold turkey approach. So thank you very much. I don't know if anyone else has any questions of this person, but that's all I wanted to ask you, and I do have a couple of comments. Thank you very much. I want to say some things that we haven't discussed here, and I'm afraid it's going to be a little bit gross, and I apologize for that. But we've all discussed the health issues and the secondhand smoke issues that apply for health and everything. But what I have not heard from anybody is about the smell. And I have talked to hundreds of smokers over my life, and not one of them will ever admit that tobacco smoke has a very, and taste, has a very bad smell to someone who does not smoke. They will not admit to it. They can't smell it. I mean, I can walk into a room where there's an ashtray, and it just makes me gag because it's this stench about it. And frankly, when I was a young woman, I stopped dating a couple of guys that smoked because they tasted like ashtrays smell. I couldn't stand it. And I just said, I don't want to date somebody that their breath is so rotten that it smells like this nasty old ashtray. So I know that's not going to change anybody's smoking behavior, but when I'd go out to a party and I'd come home, I'd have to go strip down in the laundry room and throw all of my clothes in the washing machine, and I'd have to go take a shower and wash my hair because everything on me reeked of cigarette smoke, and I couldn't stand myself. I couldn't even stand myself. I had to go wash my clothing and everything. It's that bad, and no smoker will ever admit that that's a problem because they cannot smell it. They're so inundated with it in their lungs, in their clothing. You can open a closet of somebody who smokes, and their clothing will all smell like smoke. Nobody has talked about it. I know it's gross, and I apologize for that, but it's also the truth. So, you know, unless you wish to be socially repulsive because of the smell of tobacco smoke, it's really not a good thing to start. So I really do support this bill. I'm very pleased that Drew brought this forward. I really appreciate all of you young people for coming in and supporting it, and the honesty of those who say, I smoke and I still support this bill. You're to be commended for your honesty and your courage, And I want to thank all of you.
Thank you. Mr. Yoshimoto?
Oh, thank you, Madam Chair. I support the bill. Thank you, Mr. Kunoha. To those of you that come testify, thank you all for sharing your thoughts. This brings back memories of 2008 Ms. Ford. We had no smoking in the parks and beaches for the county. And, at that time, we said it was the beginning, and it is. The kids, adults everywhere, one of the things we realize about our lives, our communities, is the one constant is change, because we become better, we become smarter, and we make better decisions. And I think this process and watching this bill come through, it was far less contentious. I will tell you, my memories of 2008 was very, very difficult because there was passionate positions on both sides. But I'm happy, in my opinion, we made the right decision back then, and we're going to make the right decision today. The point I wanted to make is that it's becoming easier because it is the right thing to do. There's no question about the health effects, about the environmental effects. So the key is to continue to do the right thing. Be smart about things, make good decisions, and this is just another example. And I do know that it will continue to change because we will have more people like yourselves willing to step up and make your voices heard. So I want to thank you all for your efforts, and please keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ilagan?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I also want to thank everybody who shared their story, and it's good to see everyone here again. I do want to mention that smoking, to some of us, it feels like it's one of those bad habits. But I do want to point out that not people who smoke are bad people. It's a very hard habit to quit. And that struggle is the struggle that they have to face. And I know people who are smokers, and I don't look at them as bad people because they smoke. They have to face the struggle within themselves. And maybe the smell is very bad for me, but to them, maybe it's something that they find pleasant. Just like I don't like olives, but I know some of you guys love olives too. So I just want to say, this is a choice that you guys made as a lifestyle that is healthy. And I admire that. But I also don't want you guys to think that you see a friend who smokes and you think of them as a bad person, because they're not. They have to go through that struggle within themselves, and I just want you guys to understand that. But I do appreciate the work that Councilmember Kanuha worked with everyone, and I also appreciate the fact that you guys were willing to compromise with the businesses and have that process, because it's hard to do the cold turkey approach. There has to be steps to go through, and I appreciate this, and you guys have my full support. Aloha.
Thank you. Ms. Poindexter?
Yeah, I just want to thank Councilmember Drew Kanuha for bringing this forward, and for all of you being here, because I think it starts with you, and this is truly a new beginning for us, because you are taking the lead versus the government, or we're trying to make laws based on what we feel that we want. I look out in the audience here and I see the youth. It fills the room, and it's your voices that made this happen and influenced Councilmember Drew Kanuha to act on your behalf. So I'm very proud of all of you, and I'm looking forward to what's next. So keep on keeping on. So aloha.
Thank you. Any further comments? Well, before we vote, I too would like to thank the teachers, the mentors, and all the students for coming and being part of this effort. And thank you to Mr. Kanuha for spearheading it. I just wanted to make sure that you realize how important it is that you're engaged with us and I urge you to stay engaged in your community through the government in this type of process. It's so refreshing and important. So mahalo, everybody. And Madam Clerk, the vote on Bill 135.
Ms. Forbes? Aye. Mr. Iligan?
Aye.
Mr. Kanuha?
Aye.
Mr. Kern?
Aye.
Mr. Onishi? Ms. Poindexter?
Aye.
Ms. Willie? Mr. Yoshimoto?
Aye.
Chair Eo?
Aye.
Chair Eo, you have 9 ayes.
Thank you. On Bill 135, passed the second and final reading. Congratulations. At this time, we're going to take a 10-minute recess, and but before you folks leave, would you like to gather and we'll take a picture with all of us and all of you? Okay. Yeah, and you can hold your signs up for the picture.